Corey, do you need a summary of what happened last session?
Yes, because I don't usually watch our streams.
Fair enough. So, to sum it up briefly, uh, essentially what happened is Lancey went to go back to one of their business spots where they're keeping all their equipment so that they can gear up for this adventure. Uh, Crew got tired of waiting, and by crew we mean one person, and began leading.
River.
No, actually, Winter.
Huh?
Um,
River wasn't the shitty person for once.
there is reason behind this anyway. But anyway, uh, they go on ahead without you. They struggle to read a map that you had gotten a hold of until they figured out they were holding it upside down the whole time. They being Gulp. And
That sounds entirely right.
and then they get to the Great Oasis. Do a little window shopping. Gulp sells a few things, gets a handful of coins. Um, makes enough for like food for a night or something like that. If no one's feeling cooking. And they get to what they are very confident to be the tomb entrance. It's lots of rubble, very old, and after doing a bit of investigation, there appears to be a sundial. Based on the story of this particular person who's supposed to be buried here, that you're supposed to be raiding their grave, uh, there's a lot of analogies and correlations from the story to this burial entrance. And the running theory right now is waiting until around the evening hours because that is when the hero was tried. Eventually, you do manage to catch back up and find everyone because you had to find your own map at that point and get a second one for obvious reasons. They did encounter a sandworm. They damn near got caught.
Alright.
Insert that one movie scene of, oh my god, I almost just died. I almost died. It was so scary. So, Lancey comes back and manages to catch up with everyone.
What the hell happened to you lot?
Oh, there you are.
I had to go so what did I get from my supplies?
So you got. Let me read it off real quick. So, um, what to do? All right, so you got an embalming pack, and that basically is commonly used for just preservation of a corpse or any kind of organ or piece of a body. Uh, Essentially, some healing potions. I would say one for every one of a regular equivalent. So give or take 5. You also got an Explorer pack, a simple weapon of your choice.
Could you hold on? You send that to me. I missed the first part.
An embalming kit.
Okay. Hold on. Well, Clancy's sheet. Let me open his sheet, or open to his sheet. I was on a different sheet from earlier.
You're fine.
What?
So an embalming pack or kit, or however you want to list it out. An explorer's pack, a simple weapon of your choice, uh, a healing potion of the regular variant for one of everyone. So that would be give or take 5.
Oh, that reminds me, Tori. Just being off topic for a second. I got the design for Freddy Friendly.
Simple weapons. Is that it?
Did you get the healing potion?
Yes.
Okay, and one minor injury kit.
Okay. Does it matter if it's ranged or not?
No, as long as it is a simple weapon.
Chooses a heavy longbow.
Heavy longbow.
That's not a simple weapon. That was the joke, Pyro. Actually, I'm gonna choose a weapon that in itself is entirely actually not simple, and it makes it. I find it absolutely hilarious. Lancey now has a sling.
I'd like to have a conversation with whoever said that is simple. Like, I want to sit down and do the deep inhale, bruh.
Um,
And it was a minor injury kit.
Yes.
How about that's one use only, right?
They are consumable, yes.
Well, some things have like tiered uses.
uh, but yeah, Tori, did you hear me?
Yes, I did.
The artist who I'm working with is still designing him, but this is what we got for facial features, at least.
Ah, I liked it better when he was the person shaped hole made of static with the moon mask.
Yeah, we. I I I sent it to a professional though, so this is what we got. Pyro saw their work.
No comment.
What do you mean, no comment?
No comment. Moving on.
All right.
So, yep. You finally make it back to the crew. And you see they're very much just hanging around mostly. Not much is really being done or going on.
Can I be dusting stuff off?
And you could.
Just just using Bob Biddledy's like functions of like vacuuming and snow blowing sand.
How does Bob Biddledy have these functions?
I mean, the same way you could literally just take the palm of your hand and dust off the surface.
Yeah, we kind of said snow blowing and vacuuming.
Well, he did it last time, and nobody had a problem with it.
So last session, he quite literally just, with this exhaust fan out of his
See, now
mouth,
that makes
like,
sense.
like imagine he just like bends over and just with an exhaust fan out of his mouth, just leaf blowers.
Is everyone
Winter was kind of just sitting on a broken off post. I don't know if you can see the map right now.
I can.
Yeah,
Is
so
everyone hurt, injured?
no one is either. In fact,
Okay.
they all seem very bored.
I'm gonna huck a fireball in there to make them not bored.
Grenade!
I don't have fireball.
I do.
So,
As you should.
so I guess Gulp is looking for anything that could like be a sign of like a switch, a dial. We're just
Can
kind
I
of
use my
waiting.
sling to fire to throw a rock near someone? Not at, just near. Just as a goof. Actually, that's unbefitting of Lancey's character. Never mind.
So I'm just looking for a switch or anything. Like like I got bored waiting for the sun to be at a certain point in the sky, and just started looking around.
I imagine Gulp is staring into the sun.
Yeah, so do I roll anything for that?
For what?
I'm just looking around, searching for anything that could like help us out in this situation.
Bro, from what you understand as a group, this sundial is the key. Or more or less the lock. Winter's running theory that Ornthalis kind of agreed, but is also hesitant on. It might be vice versa. I don't exactly remember. But one of them agrees and is hesitant on. One made the running theory of waiting until evening hours at the time of when he was tried. But the reason why it's hesitation is the amount of sand that piled up onto the dial indicate it hasn't opened for a while. If that was the case, it would be opening up daily.
I'm gonna walk up to the group and just see what's going on.
So Winter seems to be just sitting on a post, full plate armor, mind you. She's not wearing her priest outfit. She's wearing complete full plate like a knight would, minus the helmet. Bob Biddledy is apparently vacuuming the desert. He'll be busy for a while.
We ain't found shit!
No, that's combing.
Shh, let me have my funny reference. What's happening? No, wait, that's what's happening here.
We're just
What is this strange man doing? Why is he inhaling copious amounts of sand?
He's just
Blue says, or not Blue, Lancy's. I'm giving them the same voice, shut up. Lancy says that to Winters.
You act like I know.
You seem to be more intelligent than that creature.
I would sure hope so.
So, what is the plan?
Trying to figure out a way to get in here. And that sundial appears to be the lock, and we're not exactly sure what the key is. We have an idea, but time will tell. Literally.
Well, if the idea is that the sundial is the key, perhaps it's not what so much in the literal sense, but the way that the light coming off of the shadow coming off of the sundial is. Look carefully. There's runes against the ground.
Right, and not a single one of us can find a way to decipher it. Not even Ortholos' old ass.
Did I take linguist? Did I take linguist? Power feats. Healer. Nope.
How familiar is Lancy with sundials?
That's a great question. Probably more familiar than he was when he lived in, what's the flying nation?
Aphelion.
Aphelion, now that he lives in Mazdaca.
Make me a history check.
That is a 17 with mods.
Last you knew, sundials are not supposed to be flat like a clock hand.
Where's the thing?
Right there. Oh, not there.
No. Lancy said that to her.
Where's what thing?
The component that sticks up out of the ground.
Isn't that it right there?
No,
Well, it's
flat.
there, it's just flat.
Okay, well, have we tried standing it up?
What?
It needs to stand up so it can cast a shadow. That's literally how it works. The really shitty part is none of us know what angle it's supposed to be at.
Well, I'd imagine long enough to have noon be the highest point.
Well, no shit, but based on how the size of it is, the mathematics, and the way it would sit, do you happen to have all the stuff for that? I imagine we'd at least need several protractors, a plumb bob, and an annoying manner of tools that we are not currently in the possession of.
So she's going to walk up to the sundial's main mechanic piece. Well, I'll be damned. I don't think we're gonna need a tool. And then she kicks it.
What does that do? She just kick it?
So she kicks it, and it makes a ting sound. Like it's hollow. Like it's a pin.
fuck? Lancey's gonna walk up.
So when you walk up, instead of it being held down through like a tightening mechanism, it's being held through literal friction. Not friction, like a wedge. Tension, yeah. So if you could figure out a way to release this pin that's literally like a 2x4 like rectangle, you could position this piece upwards and re-slot it.
Does anyone have a chisel? Or, well, not a chisel, just a round peg or anything I could
Well,
use?
let me see if I have anything worth. Like I can check see if I have anything like that.
I feel like you, if anyone, would have anything like that.
It needs to be sturdy. It
Well,
can't be brittle.
Well, she actually did just not too long ago get a literal sack of junk. Found
Yep.
something in there.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
junk could be anything from a rusty piece of tin. Tin to, well, literally anything.
So
Yeah, she's
make
right.
me an investigation check.
Me?
Yes.
All right. Plus, remember, I also got my javelin.
That alone would work.
She's
How
like,
big is the square peg?
It's about, give or take, 3 inches thick and about 4
Diameter.
feet. What do you mean?
What's the diameter of it?
It's a rectangular peg, like a 2x4.
I thought it was a circle.
No, well, if it was a circle, it couldn't be, slotted like a. Because when you take it out, it looks like a star, but with notches.
so.
Oh, it's ratcheted.
There you go. That's it.
So she like reaches into her like satchel and pulls out the scrap javelin. It's like, I call it the enforcer.
I
What's
call
an
it a piece of
enforcer?
garbage.
This is for
Low standards.
this is for any offensive kind of problems, like just in case you have to ward off predators and stuff like that, like bears that come sniffing around. But it should work for what you're looking for.
I prefer this, and Lancey produces his warhammer. You see, here's the plan. Lancey takes the tip of the spear, points it roughly towards the center of the peg, and ever so carefully he starts working the peg using his warhammer against the butt of the javelin.
Make me an athletics check.
For some reason, athletics doesn't feel right.
Well, it's strength. You're trying to jab it, right?
No, I'm trying to slowly nudge it out.
Ah,
I'm trying to use physics.
gotcha.
Lancey's an
Completely misunderstood the situation. That's on me.
No, if I was trying to knock it out, I just would have straight used the warhammer. That's why I asked for the tool to tap the warhammer against.
Okay. So, as you're tapping it, it seems more or less, as you're tapping it, you're just breaking off whatever is in between that has just eroded into it. Like you pushing coral out between something. Horrible analogy, but it'll work. But it finally, after it gets about halfway through, you could literally just, like, one last time, just tap it, and it just slides right out. The only thing that really happens as far as the dial goes, it just goes fully limp onto the sand, which is maybe a 3-inch drop. It just doesn't even make that much of a noise from how softly. Yeah.
And now comes the biggest pain in our ass.
Lifting the fucker up.
No, getting it in the right position. Although lifting it might be just as equally as a bitch.
Well, how many notches do we have to work with? I'd imagine only 4. As you bend down to look over, it's actually 5. The mechanism that holds this, you're more impressed of how they managed to fit 5 available positions. But from what you can ideally get is it's more or less making it a full 180 positioning versus just 90.
Interesting.
But that also doesn't mathematically add up if that's the case. Because if this position allows it to be perfectly flat, the last position is not going to be perfectly flat. So there is definitely going to be a correct answer as far as where it goes for it to be like very perfectly accurate to noon as the highest point.
Well, it gets slightly more annoying because we have to use shadows as well, which means we're not measuring 1, not 2, but 3 different things. We have to measure the angle at which we set this into. We have to measure the tip of this. I assume one of these positions, based on how one was straight flat down, the other is straight perpendicular up. Then, from there, once we eliminate that position, which will be the easiest, as that won't cast a shadow properly. Also, Pyro, you don't know how sundials work. Because it just occurred to me. Noon's the point where there's no shadow on there because it's straight overhead.
I was always taught that the highest point of noon is when it would be at its longest.
Yeah, but that's if we're talking about a tower freestanding. But the way a sundial is designed with its triangular wedge shape in the center, right? It's supposed to cast shadows around, and the shadow creates the hands of the clock.
So,
Noon wouldn't cast a shadow because the sun's directly overhead, and therefore not hitting anything, if I'm not mistaken. Which I will not rule out the possibility of me being.
it's both we could just blow it open.
What are we blowing open?
Is a door, and that's incredibly dumb and incredibly dangerous and very likely counterintuitive.
Well, how do we know this is even the door? How do we not know that it could be somewhere over on the wall?
For all we know, this is the key, and if we destroy it, the door stays locked. But I say we figure out the perpendicular position because that is the most useless position.
You You do that, and I'll get busy working on building some honky ladders.
What? Lancey reaches it. No.
A what
Honky
ladder?
ladders. It's like honky ladders, cherry bombs, whisker biscuits, Husker do's, Husker don'ts. Not you never even not even a whistling kitty chaser.
I think the creature is mad.
I think I've lost brain cells.
Well, I'm gonna be working
Okay,
on seeing if I can
style.
build something that can blow the door open if you guys can't figure something out.
So
It'd be
Sean!
good.
Oh, he's AFK. Oh well. Anyway.
It's like, by the way, if you break my javelin, Tiger King, we're gonna have a problem.
Racist. Did you hear that? She called me a tiger.
Well, have you ever heard the phrase "go get him, tiger"?
I'm getting very tempted to just take this javelin and throw it into the distance.
And like you can see Bob Biddledy like anything I can do to help, sir.
You can probably lift this. I imagine it's rather heavy.
And
I'm trying to figure out how to read a sundial for whether new. Actually,
should I roll to see whether or not Bob Biddledy can contribute to that?
okay, yeah, no, Pyro.
Hmm.
The pictures I'm seeing, the way it should align, it very much looks like the. So I think it's called. I don't know what it's called. I'll just look back real quick. We're gonna get technical now. The Gnomon? The Gnomon? I want to say the G is silent.
The Gnomon sundial?
Yeah, the Gnomon and the sundial. That's the centerpiece. The way it looks like for noon, when I Google pictures of it, the Gnomon and the shadow should be aligned for noon.
Right.
So it wouldn't really cast a shadow because the sundial would then be casting over, or the Gnomon would be over where the shadow should be, unless it's one of the ones where it's just the Gnomon comes up as a line piece, which, yes, would then technically make the longest shadow, I guess. You missed it. We've had a whole discussion about how sundials are supposed to work.
I accidentally smashed a plate. So,
You stupid bastard.
well, listen, man, I was not expecting the plate to literally have itself.
I see your picture now, Pyro. That's not how I was picturing you picturing it. That is my bad.
Pictureception.
Look at this photograph of a photograph.
Every time I photograph, this photograph inside a photograph. I put a photograph in a photograph.
My
Every
boyfriend
time I
sent me
do
that
it
picture
makes
for
me
that
laugh.
song, and I hate the photograph of a photograph almost more than I hate the regular song photograph.
Honestly,
I don't.
I don't understand the hate behind Nickelback, but
I
that's
love Nickelback.
Nickelback is overrated.
No, what? What?
okay. And
Nickelback, much like Nirvana, is entirely overrated. Nirvana is a trash band.
I mean, technically, they're no longer a band.
That's why I
Bam,
Their
listen.
bam.
music's
That's why I listen to stuff like Mr. Bungle or Psychotic Symphony.
This is why I listen to Limp Bizkit.
It's
I
one of
feel
those
like
days.
because I feel like I feel like that's the fucking national anthem of my life right now. It's just one of those days.
yeah.
Anyway, so
Um,
you're realizing that there's 5 notches. It's very much like a ratchet kind of situation. Mathematically, it's not making sense how this thing would be laying down perfectly in one ratchet and then be in another without it, having a difference in overall height. So go ahead and make me an insight. So Sean, while they're doing this, you're kind of just standing there watching them. You missed Gulp handing over their javelin to Lancey, who then uses a warhammer to like hammer and chisel out, but essentially looks like a golden brick that's the length of a 2x4. That is notching in a like ratchet kind of mechanic internally to the sundial.
this bitch is 50 feet long. Let's just take this and bounce. We got so much money right here. It's like the goddamn adamantium doors.
Steal their fucking doors.
Have you, Sean? You know about Tomb of Annihilation, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Fucking adamantium door. Oof. Well, it's a good thing Lancey's not a cartographer or whatever would use a sundial because I rolled a 7.
You're not confident in any answer, so the only thing that comes to mind is guess and check, but you are also confident that would take too long.
Yeah. Lancey's situation has not changed from how I was role playing it. You there, creature. And he points at Bob Biddledy.
You there! Ogre!
Stand this so it's erect.
I don't know what Dick has to do about it, but okay.
And it's like, right away.
Sean and Pyro, both of you are receiving a -2 on your first rolls.
Take the
in my
fucking L, loser.
session. Grow the fuck up, bitch.
No.
Jesse?
Bitch.
No, that's you.
So, I'm gonna need Bob Biddledy to make me a strength check.
So do I just have his stats as my own?
He has his own stats.
Did you not stat Bob Biddledy?
He's
No.
a steel defender, so
Right, Steel Defenders have their own stat block.
I think the only thing they take from you is their health.
I don't even think that.
There is one score they do take from you. Why do we have free windmills and why are they arranged like this?
Why are they not arranged like this?
Steel Defenders. Hit points are equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier plus 5 times your artificer level. They have a +2 to strength.
so he got a 18.
18. So, he pretty much just deadlifts the closest part of this dial part the hand of the clock to say, and just straight lifts it up, and Lancey and Winters both notice
What's
that
it doing?
when he's lifting this up, you're hearing a lot of creaking and a lot of parts of the notches breaking off. You're noticing that there, instead of 5, there's actually 12 notches.
That makes much more sense. God damn it. God damn it.
I'm more impressed how in the blazing hells these things managed to actually keep shape. Takes her longsword and kind of just uses it to, like, scrape out a bunch of dirt and knock out a bunch of just hardened sand to, like, really free out the notches. With that being said, do we remember which one was the original? Tom Biddledy, set it back down for one moment.
Right away, man.
So when he sets it back down, she's gonna, with a piece of junk that Gulp has, literally starts carving into one of the notches.
That's a stupid name. From now on, you're just Bob.
So, now, hypothetically speaking, you only need 2 notches for these to be, right? Or would it need to be straight up?
Straight up's a position we need to eliminate. That won't... Unless we're in a very odd situation for light, that won't really cast shadows the way we need it to.
So it'd be the notch directly before then. Maybe?
Not necessarily. We need it somewhere between a 90 and a 45 degree angle. But it should likely be lower than 70.
So, between this and that, we have 2 notches available to us.
Well, that does narrow things down.
That's what I was getting at. Do we want it to be the closest to straight up or closest to straight down? I feel like straight up would be more reasonable.
Let's try the closest to straight up, but I would like to, Bob, hold it in the erect position again, so that we can mark that one off, so we know which one it isn't.
He only answers if you call him Bob Biddledy.
He answered when I called him Creature before, so I'll just continue to call him Creature. Creature, erect that... How do you say it, Pyro?
Casually looks back to the Gnomon.
Erect the Gnomon, Creature.
Hold up. I can't. Audio, go turn on. Gnomon.
We're just Gnomon.
Gnomon.
Erect
Gnomon!
the Gnomon. Erect the Gnomon, Creature.
Erect the Gnomon!
Erect.
So, he'll lift it up to perfect 90 degrees. She'll make another engraving. Alright. Do that. Alright. She'll take the bit that was, like, ratcheting it stuck in place and insert it into the opening. Alright. Go ahead and lower it ever so slightly so that I can get this aligned.
Right away.
Right. Hold it right there. And she'll just put it back into place. And now the Nauman, it's hiling. To put it simply.
Are you good?
No.
Did you
I
not
am
just hear
evil!
Did you not just hear what Pyro said it was doing?
No.
He said it was hiling. Well, Heil Hitler, bitch! TOS. TOS hard.
Then I hit the button and I realized, oh wait, I'm on the wrong soundboard preset for this.
Goofball.
So what is? I want. Gulp is just like working on the stuff he's got.
Yeah, make me a crafting check.
So yeah, she's tinkering with the scrap, and she's also like muttering under her breath because she thinks Bob Bildy is talking to her again. Like, no, I don't think leprechauns are just Santa's elves who got fired from the workshop and drinking on the job.
What?
Let's see here. I'm gonna order food here in a moment.
This. Both creatures must be heavily intoxicated, are they not? It's
18 plus 4.
Where'd my steel go?
18 plus 4, Pyro.
22. I couldn't think for one. Math was not mathing.
Welcome to my world.
Can I get out, please?
No. Prison.
So,
Not again.
in what time
Yes.
it took them to get this thing into a proper positioning, you managed to get the shell for a very basic hand grenade made. So you've got the cask that if you just dump gunpowder and a fuse in, it would in theory be functional.
The fact that Gulp has hand grenades scares me.
Whether it functions or not is debatable. Any idiot can just make a sphere out of sheet metal.
A non-functional hand grenade is or a faulty hand grenade to me is scarier than a real hand grenade.
That is also true.
So Gulp like follows up to you. She's like, "Okay, I'm just about done with this here boomity boom 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 thing." So
I don't like that you yourself aren't sure of what you call it. Is anyone else heavily concerned by this creature?
I've been concerned ever since I laid eyes on them.
And David's just gonna raise his hand.
Yes.
What's his name?
Aneva.
Aneva?
You know, the thing that they named the convention after?
No. I also realize... Lancey probably also realizes he hasn't met Sean's character.
Oh yeah, that's
hello
true.
there.
But David's just gonna continue to be silent. He has not said a single word.
I like this one more than I like that one already. He points from Aneva to Gulp.
like the wind, saying fucking nothing.
The wind says a lot, dumbass.
Yeah, we're speaking a whole lot of nothing.
So Winter, do you need me to do anything here? Because right now Bob Billy be doing all the work. I
think it,
managed to get the scrapping with this here boom thing that I'm working on. Still not quite sure how to. I'm going to need to fill it with gunpowder or something like that, just something combustible. But
Can
it's a
we
start.
acknowledge that the creature still doesn't know what to call its own creation?
The silence is staggering. I don't think anyone really cares. As long as you're sure.
so I think now we just wait. Senna was in the mid to late evening hours when he was tried. Judging by the positioning and how old this is, curious to know what lies underneath.
I'm curious to
Copious
know too.
amounts of diseases, expired poisons, which might make them deadlier or not effective at all.
I would assume the latter.
Oh, you mean for poisons? No, it quite depends on the poison, my dear.
Noted. So if there's any
Some
poison dart traps. Lovely.
We send the one with metal hide first, obviously. He points at Bob Biddledy.
I was about to
With
say,
his
who has
thumb.
metal hide?
Looks at Neva with his armor.
I could always build a scrap armor.
I'm pretty sure even a 10,000-year-old dart, if that's how they are, would pierce any kind of armor you could create.
See, I take that to mean a challenge.
I'll take that, dude.
I'm pretty sure my warhammer could also beat any armor you could create, but you know, that's besides the point.
So I guess now we just wait, right?
Yep.
Well, anyone hungry? Because I'll start cooking.
I
Not
think
for
now
you,
would actually be a rather good time to eat, so that we at least have something in our systems when whatever this door opens. That is, if it does.
Well, it's no use standing around on an empty stomach.
Lunch is gonna eat. What's the explorer's pack have? Lancey's gonna eat one of his 12 rations.
Okay.
Okay, so Pyro, what do you think I can cook in these conditions?
Well, in these conditions, you would have still some leftover stuff from before on top of your rations, so you could probably just take a ration and just elevate it a bit, or just cook something up original.
I'll cook something original.
All right, go ahead and make me a cooking check.
Ooh, 20, and we're gonna go with. Why do I not have cooking on here?
Because it's a tool check. Do you have cooking utensils?
I think we covered this before, and she didn't, so she had to make a blank check.
Yep.
But it was a 20.
Meanwhile, Lancey's sitting over here with a mess kit.
but it was a 20, so I think she succeeds.
Well, it's not a succeed. It's a see how well you do it. Kind of thing.
Well, so
So,
she's
as you take out that little bit of sheet metal you used before, unfold it, and just let it heat up. You take a bit of just leftover grease and let it melt over the sheet metal, and you pretty much whip something up. Uh, it's definitely a lot better than what you've made at the Great Oasis. That pretty much was enough to give you an idea of how to improve upon your previous cooking. And you essentially make enough for everyone to have one. To everyone's surprise, this actually looks not that bad. It's nothing gourmet, but it's definitely got the same look to your average tavern food, with maybe a little bit more in the portion size.
can I say what it is she made?
Go for it.
Who's hungry for some pizza?
Is it actually pizza?
Well, fun fact, it is
No.
pizza. It is pizza, but it's pizza the way the artisans would have made it.
It's
See,
ancient Greek style pizza.
see, back in those days, they couldn't like eat the stuff they were selling, so they would use scraps to build together to make pizza. That's how pizza was invented, and they cook it over a stone fired oven. The first pizza place to ever do the first pizza place ever in existence was Lombardi's. And so what she's doing is like New York style pizza.
It wouldn't it be Greco style pizza?
Well, using her knowledge of the way of cooking, it'd be like the stuff you'd get at like a like Detroit style or like Chicago deep dish.
Hmm.
But she's like, who's hungry? Come and get it. You won't be sorry. This is one of my specialty recipes.
I'm absolutely certain I likely would be sorry.
One way to find out. And she'll take some. And,
As one member of the group who knows how to deal with poison, I will let all of you.
as a matter of fact, Anna, make me a vitality check.
Like I was hoping winter would warm up the gulp, so
That's absolutely hilarious.
Winter warming up, buddy. You got to wait for the spring.
we got
I know that was bad.
Sean,
oh thank goodness it was
please
an
go
18.
sit in the corner.
It's an 18 plus 4.
I already am.
Okay.
I'm proficient in
Sean,
vitality.
get further in the corner. Rearrange.
Well, proficiency
so
is only applied to resist, so it's just the modifier.
But still, it was an 18.
Okay. So, Winter takes a bite, and she's definitely struggling to chew on it because it's very tasty. Think like Scooby-Doo level of when they're eating, how the cheese kind of sticks to the roof of their mouth, kind of thing.
But it's not bad.
She knows what she. It's not bad. Definitely use more seasoning. A little less. Whatever the hell's making it sticky.
Oh, that's my special bubblegum topping because I thought that some people like stretchy cheese pizza, so I'm just kind of like catering to those folks. But if you like, but no worries.
She very politely sets the pizza back down.
Oh, come on. I was trying. It's like, well, you don't like it?
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum
It.
topping is it's not like it's not actually bubblegum. It's bubblegum like because how stretchy it is.
You should lead with that.
It's my terminology is different from y'all's,
This is why I have not partaken.
but you can keep eating. Don't worry, it's not going to poison you or nothing. You all is my friend. I'm going to take care of you guys.
Suspiciously poisoned piece of pizza.
What?
No, it's not gonna poison you or anything. Says a suspiciously poisoned piece of pizza.
Why
But
is it getting warmer? I hope you two get that joke.
Yes.
but yeah, like is Winter going to continue eating since I clarified?
That's a roll of the dice question. Where's my dice? I thought I put them. Fuck me. All right, let me get it. Can I reach them from here? Nope.
I won't.
Time, please.
Actually, Sean, you're the one person not allowed to screw him.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up, Grandma! Drink your prune juice.
That's it. I'm taking away your internet. I'm
I
taking
actually
away.
finally cleaned up a little bit, and I made room and found Daniel's old dice roller that he had given me. And so, for the first time, well, it's a rolling tray. It's not like a dice tower or anything crazy. And for the first time, I'm using my going away gift from Florida, which is
I'm going to will a nat one.
which is rose quartz, like genuine rose quartz dice.
I'm also willing.
Sean, I fucking hate you.
Yes.
Don't worry, Pyro. It was a team effort. Sean and I both believed you would get a nat one.
No. Let me.
I'm gonna will it into existence.
Oh, go figure. Because OBS is open, I can't turn my camera on. Fuck off. But anyway, yeah, it's a 1, all right. So
Every single chance I get, baby.
So Winter's gonna reach into her own pack. She's gonna sprinkle something over her slice and then continue eating it.
Gulp's just gonna
Perfect.
Gulp's gonna frown a little bit, and then she's gonna go back to cooking.
And Ava's actually going to walk over. Excuse me.
Flips the entire cooking setup.
Excuse me.
Oh, look at this.
Excuse me, go fuck yourself.
God damn.
So
On a
Gulp,
scale
Gulp,
of 1 to
Gulp
10,
is
how
like,
likely are you to poison me?
look, if I wanted my feelings to be hurt, then I would ask from the lion with the mullet.
You're lucky you have this strange creature here, or I would make quick work of your skull.
You see, people ain't nice to me around here, 'cause I'm different.
Perhaps it's because you keep insulting me.
I ain't insulting you.
I don't have a mullet.
I ain't never seen lions before. To me, it's just a cat with a mullet.
Well, so far, I don't think I've insulted you, and I'm fairly different than you. In fact, you're all different than me, and
People ain't nice
You
to
haven't
me around
insulted
here.
me. She's
It's
been
because you're.
People ain't been
hey,
nice to me
he
around
might be
here.
gray, but that doesn't give you a reason.
All I try
Actually, no. Lancey's like a tan gold.
No, and Nathan's gray.
I'm not talking about Anifa. I'm talking about Lancey.
It's actually more of an ash bone white.
But if you're here to taste my cooking, then I would actually be real mighty fine of you.
I'm mostly
Your
here to
funeral.
assess.
Your
Trying to
funeral, and I'll
avoid
bill
that.
your family for my services.
I don't think she'll pay for it.
Well, what was he there for? What was they there for?
He was going to sample a slice of pizza.
Like, go ahead.
So,
Like,
biting
paying
into
me
it,
more.
it tastes nothing like you've ever had before. It is both chewy and bitter from whatever is in between this white, sticky, stringy substance on
You're
top of
describing
something that
it.
you also know to be very commonly as bread. But
Hey,
there's
yo,
something different
chill.
with this bread.
All I want is bread. I like it black or white.
if you prefer, like, I can just cook something else. I got chicken.
I've never had that.
You've never had
Never had-
chicken, but you've never had chicken before.
No.
Well, shit, you gotta have someone now.
I imagine.
If do you not remember 4 hours ago when he said he also doesn't know what eggs are?
So she's like, Bob, ability get out. No, you stay here. I'll handle this.
Also, I've not been poisoned by your dish, so I'd say that's a pretty good start.
So she whips. She uses her free hand to whip up some chicken in the deep fryer. You want me to
What?
make another? You want
So-
me to make another?
So, last session, Kana actually did something that was kind of cool. They took out of this junk a bunch of barbed wire, like wire mesh,
Sea-wire!
and kind of deformed it into a fryer basket. Took a bunch of fucking metal, let it heat up from the sun, and then dumped pretty much half a gallon of chicken tallow and let it melt and used that to fucking fry.
Shaniel, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you have any goddamn blaze
Minecraft!
powder?
So she deep fries up some
Can I
chicken.
borrow it?
She deep fries up some chicken, like serves it up, breads it up, and spices it, and she serves it to you. It's like, try some of that. You definitely not gonna regret this. If my pizza ain't doing it for you, this will definitely do it for you.
What is it?
It's a type of fowl.
It's a type of fowl. You see, back in the day before I started breading my chicken, I didn't have
Winters
chickens.
hits the vape.
I didn't have chickens at first, so we had to use Cornish game hens. But ever since we started using chicken and breading it and everything and covering it in good spices and stuff, people loved it. So that's what we've been doing. So that's what we're going to do in here. So now I don't have to serve Cornish game hen no more. So here, it's chicken. It's a fowl. Try it.
How
But it
is that in comparison to arachnids?
Night and day. They taste
One comes
nothing
out-
alike.
One
Oh.
comes out in the day and one comes out at night.
I was going to say, where I come from, night and day seem the same.
That's fair. I forgot about that. Comparing apples to oranges, then they're two different things.
You know what? I'll just try it.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know
Apple
what those
is-
are either.
I know, and she keeps realizing, like, after she says it, it's like, fuck. Actually,
She's
it's
like,
like,
wait a
oh,
minute.
wait.
So he's a drow.
Yes.
Are
He's-
you? It's like
Specifically, the worst type of. Well, he's not the worst. He comes from the worst drow.
So
There's
yeah,
more than one type of drow.
Yes,
Yes.
there's multiple kinds. In
Yes.
fact, he is specifically from the one that hails from Lolth. So,
Gross.
Underdark only. And it's pretty bad down there. But he does,
Slave.
yeah, you know. So when you said bail it to his family, you mean the one person that controls him?
so yeah.
He's gonna go ahead,
Pyro, please
Take a
tell
bite.
me the chicken is good.
or you gotta take a bite. You gotta take a bite.
So, as you bite into
Lancey
this,
is related to a banker, so he
Um,
might be able to pressure them into paying him something.
so what you as a person know to be the equivalent to like a drumstick, it's got a bone on it. It's got a large mound of meat. When you bite into it, it peels away stringy, but is also very tender, and it's definitely mixed with a bunch of herbs that you are familiar with for being used as
Specifically
medicine.
11 herbs and spices.
What?
11 herbs and spices.
What? Why specifically 22 different things?
No. 11 herbs and spices collectively.
Okay, why specifically 11? I'm
Out
so
of
confused.
all the people here, you're the one person I'm surprised doesn't get that.
I'm so confused. What the fuck are we talking about?
His name is Sanders.
What does Colonel Sanders have to do with 11 spices?
11 herbs
11
and
herbs and
spices.
spices. That's what Colonel Sanders uses as his recipe. Or, well, no longer the Colonel, but...
It's also actually no longer the original recipe according to Colonel Sanders.
Huh. Okay.
So you're gonna go ahead
So,
and...
yeah, so he bites into it, and when he goes to pull away, instead of the usual of what you're used to of it just pulling like a mozzarella stick would, instead it kind of like peels, trying to stick to the direction of which the bone is. It's got little bits of string into it, and it's very potent with an herbal flavor mixed in with this, as Gulp called, breading. It's
Am I the
very moist, very tender. It's flavorful, but also bland at the same time.
It's mild.
Pyro?
Hit him with that dry biscuit next. I'll kill him with that.
Hello.
Pyro, I'm very confused. How did you not know about KFC, who famously advertise using 11 herbs and spices?
Well, first off, I don't particularly like KFC as a food. Like, the literal only thing that I ever order from them, if and when I do go to them, is the mac and cheese bowl, because that's the only thing that seems appetizing. I looked at those fucking KFC videos on TikTok, well, not TikTok, but Instagram and bullshit that are from TikTok. Bro, the amount of grease that I see coming off of that fucking breading makes my stomach curdle. Hell no. Pass.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never had KFC before.
From what I
Not
see,
missing
it's very
much.
greasy.
It is, which is why I get the chicken tenders.
At that point, what's the point? You can get tenders literally fucking anywhere.
You can get better tenders at a lot of places.
That's what I'm getting at. Or you can make your
You
own,
used
which is
to-
actually not that fucking hard.
You used to be able to get better tenders at McDonald's.
KFC's chicken tenders are not too bad. They are not too bad, but they are nothing compared to Lee's chicken tenders.
I wouldn't know.
Lee's is mid.
Oof.
Lee's is mid.
One of these days, I need to make you, like, we need to get the crew together, go to a con panel, have a session, get a hotel room together, and I just cook.
You just died from falling from a high place. Crazy.
So,
I didn't have my umbrella on hand.
So is the food good though? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Your chicken is definitely better than your pizza.
Literally, you're gonna watch him just look at you and set down the piece.
And come.
And he's gonna, he's gonna fucking shit his pants. No, he's just going to extend out his hand for a handshake.
He busts a nut over the shit.
Oh shit, he just buzzing a nut. This is honestly the best thing I've had ever. I would like to thank you.
And with that, you just see her light up, and she's like, "That means a whole lot to me." And like you see, like she shakes your hand, and she's like, "If you ever need any good cooking, let me know. I'll whip you up something whenever you want. Just remind me to get some better ingredients. I'm working with scraps here."
Okay. I shall do that.
And she's like, she's like, "Joe Exotic over there could learn something from you."
Oh, and if you have poisoned me and the poison hasn't kicked in yet, well, then I'll be glad to die on this meal.
Don't worry, I don't poison folks. If I went around poisoning my clients, I'd be out of work.
I'm used to being poisoned.
I'd have more work.
Well, that's a shift in the capitalistic sense.
Well, no, that might not. If I went to, I was making a comment. If Gulp went around poisoning her clients,
Right, because all of her clients would go from her to you.
yes, very profitable. Not for Gulp, but for me.
So she's
Gulp
like,
would likely end up in jail from it.
Conveniently, as this conversation is happening, you are slowly beginning to notice that it is gradually growing darker.
and she's like, "Look at that, the sun's going down."
Holy shit. Look at the shadow.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit, why does that look exactly like my cousin Joe?
you look down and it's just a silhouette of Muscle Man.
You know who else is appearing on Sundials?
That's not what I was gonna say. However, that's probably funnier than what I was gonna say.
So, to your surprise, the way that this is oriented, the sun's positioning currently, and when it's gradually growing darker, it's causing a shadow to ironically be directly on top of the central point of this little platter that the scarab is holding. Is there a piece we're missing?
See. No. I think it's going exactly as planned. And Lancey's gonna saunter, or Lancey's gonna walk over, not saunter.
So, upon this very basic clay scarab that is...
Get fucked!
Okay, so the scarab is dead now.
No. That's not
Did
what
you
that
know?
was intended.
Did you know that? Wait,
I hate my life. So, this very obviously scarab-shaped clay statue, very, in your eyes, suspiciously, has a spot on it that is made of what appears to be polished gold, or some kind of gold-like material. It's very gold in color, leaning more towards yellow.
What's this house doing in the middle of this bridge?
My bad.
Bruh,
What the fuck?
I love how the Minecraft context comes in immediately after I describe a scene, as if that is the response to the fucking scene. It's like, oh yeah, here's a platter that is gold but yellow in color, leaning more in yellow in color. What is this house doing? What the fuck?
Fucking stupid ass house. Get out of the way. My bad. I put it there.
That is totally how that response goes. No. I'm not sure what the purpose of this piece is, but I believe we are on the right track.
Excuse me.
Don't question how I'm gathering this, just accept that it's happening. Can I make an investigation check?
What are you investigating?
The purpose of the gold on the scarab.
That would be more of an insight check.
Yeah, fight.
Okay, can I make that?
Yeah.
Fucking teleporting, goddamn wither skeletons off a bridge in another fortress. These bitches ain't shit.
Black coat and tricks.
Inside. That would be a 12 with mod.
So, from what you can gather from context clues, this could be, in some shape or form, either a pressure plate in the form of an offering plate.
I set Gulp's spear on it. Or whatever it is.
Javelin?
Yeah,
due to its
Gulp's.
length, it more or less sits right perfectly on the lip of this clay that the statue as a whole is made out of.
Interesting.
So whatever it is, it needs to be small enough to fit on the plate.
Gulp
Why
don't
not?
have anything heavy.
I got all the junk that I was using. I still haven't done anything with the other stuff. I managed to make the spoomity boom boom the thing, but I haven't managed to make any other stuff.
Well, is there anything you don't need?
Let's
This might
see.
be beneficial to it. I'm sorry, is this a Hero Brian altar?
No. Venture within, dumbass.
I'm in a very bad predicament.
All right, let's here. I can put the junk on there, but I'm going to need it back.
That's up for debate, but okay.
She dumps the sack out onto the platter.
So it makes a lot of clang and mess. It's definitely a pressure plate of some kind. But it seems, being that it is pushed down all the way, you're going to need something of an exact weight.
Alright, I guess we try taking things off and putting them back on. Unless, does the story give us any idea of what?
That's what I'm looking for. At the hour of judgment, when the sun bows to the horizon, the hero weighed before the Golden Guardian. He was forced in
Look for a
exchange
piece
for
of
his...
gold.
Well, I think the gold is right in front of you. It
Oh.
does mention that when the sky burns red, The sands held their breath. The trial began. The weight of his deeds upon a golden plate. And as the sun faded before the heavens, stood before a scarab at the 8th bell, the verdict was cast, to which he gave sacrifice.
The weight of his deeds. Does that mean like blood?
And if so, how much?
How much does gulp have?
Drain dry.
I scratch and I
Yo,
bite.
chill.
I am much larger than you, and I have a superior weapon.
And you also scratch and bite.
And that's part of his superior weaponry. His is much better because his are naturally designed for it.
Scratching and biting.
Yeah, his claws are designed for scratching, and his jaws are designed for biting.
Kinky.
Listen here, you piece of shit.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Love you too, fuckwit.
Listen, we gotta work together. So
Gex.
if we gotta work together
No, why
here
is
on
that?
this, and you gotta.
That's inherently not true. I don't have to do this. I could just go back to being a mortician.
He is right. We all voluntarily signed up for this.
None
Granted,
of
there
us
is
have to
compensation, which is supposed to be listed out upon enlistment, but I guess I must have missed that part. But, again, this is voluntary service. We don't have to do any of this. We could just go back and say it's too difficult for us. And they'll probably just send another crew. We're doing this for the betterment of, well, our town. I wouldn't even call it a town, more of a kingdom.
And she's like,
I was gonna say, the town I'm specifically, I've been located in recently is all dead.
so she's like,
So you're
all
not out
right.
of work for a long time.
She's like, does it specify blood?
Well, let me read it one more time. At the hour of judgment, when the sun bows to the horizon, the hero was weighed before the golden guardian. When the sky burned red and the sands held their breath, the trial began, the weight of his deeds upon the golden plate. And as the sun faded from the heavens, the hero stood before a scarab. At the 8th bell, the verdict was cast, and his sacrifice was made.
The
Bell
weight of
doesn't
it,
happen to be a unit of measurement, does it?
the weight of his deeds.
It
How
might
does
be-
one measure the weight of your deeds?
These nuts.
Damn.
Not sorry.
And that's as much as they give us. So I think we're on our own from that point. We've got enough so that, well, I guess the sundial was more or less a key to point us to where the lock is. This isn't necessarily the lock itself. But then again, this could just be another lock that leads to another lock. I need to get a hold of whoever did the architecture of this place.
So how are we gonna figure this out?
Good question.
I ain't no math magician.
Mathematician.
Close enough. You're one used to this kind of thing. What do you make of this? Gesturing to, Aniva.
Listen, I'm going to be entirely honest. I didn't exactly pay attention. All she did was put spiders in me. Try not to think about it.
What do you think of this whole riddle?
What do you
Measuring by
mean
the-
there's spiders in you?
You don't want to know.
Oh, you know. Anyway, a story for later. Well, measured by the weight of his deeds.
And upon the 8th bell, the verdict was cast and his sacrifice was made. Supposedly, this person was a very big hero that did things to avert calamity. He also bared items that broke reality. Well, at least for the time period.
Depending on the time period, broke reality can be very subjective.
Before day zero.
Women's pockets at one point broke reality.
Women have pockets?
They used to. Then men
Like
thought they were
built
hiding
in,
stuff.
or
No, in their clothing.
oh, I'd be worried.
It's a kangaroo.
I guess technically female marsupials, but that's besides the point.
But Gulp does have a point. How does one weigh a deed? I feel like blood is in some way, shape, or form involved, but how do we know how much or how little? Wait.
Who's our least favorite person? We could always just drain their blood.
Mm-hmm.
There's gotta be a way to measure this out. We have an idea of what it is, but it's the way to measure it out is the problem.
Does it specify what his deed is?
Well, apparently he's supposed to be some kind of big war hero. And avoided an entire calamity. It also made a point at some reference that... let me find the page. That she's flipping back a few pages. There we are. So... this something referenced to be a sandpit queen. He was a hero in the war of that. The war of the sandpit queen. Apparently
That
that was
sounds
a...
like some kind of sandworm.
It could be. Or at least a queen of them. Or one much larger than all of them, which are already Leviathan in size. But, see, here's my thing. The lettering is not correct. Because there's capitals in places that are not supposed to be.
Wait a minute. I haven't. I
That's
just
a cipher. What
it's a
are
cipher.
they? They spell something.
They're spelling something. It's what I was going to say that.
Well, the ones that are capital that are correct are obviously the S and the Q. But the D and the T are also capital in sandpit.
Let's put them together until they spell something.
SDTQ. What do you make out of that?
Are there more letters that are capitalized throughout the thing that are not intended to be capitalized? Look for the ones that shouldn't be capitalized first, then we'll look at all the others.
Not from what I'm seeing. It's just everything that is out of place is anything referring to the sandpit queen. But then again, even when the word queen is not present and they're just referring to the sandpit, the D and the T are also capital. So D&T have to be of some importance. It might stand for something.
Can anyone think of anything D or T would stand for?
Death.
That's death and time, which are both correlated to where we're at.
Death and time. Beginnings and endings. When the sun sets, the moon rises, right?
And we're on to something.
So
How does that
perhaps we look at the beginning and ending of the poem without looking at the middle.
Well, look. And she's skimming it and she's reading it, her fingers kind of trailing the words, and she's flipping pages. Wait a minute. When you put that javelin on there, it couldn't fit, right? It couldn't reach the pressure plate, and she kind of walks over. There's a lip. There's about...
Yes.
There's an idea, because that kind of makes sense from the way the story is being told. We need, obviously, blood. What if we were to fill it enough to meet this lip? Have it be flat?
That seems like an awful lot of blood still.
It's an awful lot of blood, but it's also not that much of a stretch, being, in theory, be exactly 4.5 pints. That is to be what is written to have been shed out of himself.
Why didn't you just specify the quantity of pints earlier?
I didn't read the full story until now.
To avoid.
I asked you if it specified how much blood. Like,
Well, not in the actual sacrifice, but in the story of his battle, it says that he spilt 4.5 pints of blood in his war hero story. In the lore of the war, or battle. Whatever the sandpit queen fight is.
That must be the weight of his deeds, how much blood he spilt.
Well, how much he bled, or correct wording.
That isn't too much.
Now, who's willingly going to give up 4.5 pints of blood? Because once you reach over 1 pint, you begin to go into bloodshot. Or
Exactly.
however, whatever the term. You're the mortician, you should know.
what's she talking about?
How whenever you go over a pint of blood drawn, you actually start to go into shock.
It's just called shock.
Well, if I remember correctly, in theory, I could do it.
In theory, yes, but in practice... There's another idea.
Mm-hmm.
5 of us, 4 straws. Or 5 of us, 5 straws. Those who draw the 5. For shortest have to give up 1 pint. Whoever draws the shortest is the one that gives up half a pint.
Well, there's only one theory to your idea. Has anyone noticed that Onthalos is missing?
Oh, damn it.
You know, the old guy.
Elf. Doesn't look old because he's an elf.
He sure does act it.
Oh, that's right, the other elf.
What?
I said, that's right, the other elf. Oh, well. Whatever.
Wait a minute, do Drow consider themselves to be elves still? I thought
Wait a minute, you're a mortician. Do you not just collect it?
No.
That sounds morbid.
Well, morbid, yes, but isn't it a part of your practice to draw blood samples?
If it's necessary to the point, but I don't keep them after. There's a proper disposal method.
Here's an idea.
Vampires might collect it, but I don't.
Trying to find a way that's outside of just us bleeding into this thing.
I have an idea.
It could either be very good or very bad. What is it?
She's like, everyone stand back. You're not going to want to be in. You're not going to want to be in the splash zone.
What the
What are you doing?
Not my good clothes.
And she like you see like her like you see her belly like her belly start vibrating as she like as her stomach starts making noises as she proceeds to acidic bile. She can do that.
Is
That should not be normal.
So
Gulp very much might be unwell.
how much would that be? Would that be enough if she just acidic bile like?
Well, blood is heavier than bile.
Is it?
Blood has all the minerals and proteins and other stuff that contributes to density, whereas bile is literal water, salt, and a couple acids.
It would still help us in the long run because
You would need more of it, which would then break the surface tension, because there's a lip.
Not if we're careful. You ever seen the penny test, Spyro?
Yes, but my point is, the idea of the puzzle is to get enough of it that makes it flat with the blip.
Surface tension.
so that didn't do anything.
I mean, it can do something, but it's not going to assist in the way you're thinking. Like, in theory, it would, if it wasn't for the fact that it's looking for an exact weight.
Well, I don't know what to do then. Was this another one of those cases where I like the infestation case?
No, the infestation case, you thought something was going to work and it didn't because mechanically that didn't. This is, you had an idea, but unfortunately the colors don't match the Simon Says. Good idea, not exactly what we're looking for.
If it were
Now
up to me,
go to jail.
No.
If it were up to me, I would just high striker that thing.
What?
Hit it with your hammer.
That's not a good idea. That could break the mechanisms.
Winter's just going to take a deep sigh, take a dagger to her palm, and just
Wait a minute, couldn't I just
begin pouring blood into the thing.
Oh dear heavens!
I just realized I could just use magic to heal back the loss of blood.
Uh-huh. That just came to my idea as well. So, Corey, go ahead and make me a medicine check.
Yep, that's the right number of sides.
You roll a d12.
No, I was making sure I wasn't. It's a 10 with my mod.
Dave is just going to stand there and he's going to say, "Excuse me. You know, we might have just been able to use sand, correct?"
Yes,
You
but
said that after she started bleeding herself. We've kind of committed to this path.
No. Okay.
so
But
just
we
going
do
to
appreciate
take
the input.
about what would we say?
The suggestion is
About
open. However,
about 12 HP per pint.
Um,
considering the fact that a human body has fucking 10.5, I don't know about that one, G.
10.5.
10.5.
It is 10.5, though realistically you die after you
Hold
lose
on.
6.
Hold on, someone's knocking at my door.
10.5.
So,
Okay. You know what's funny as shit?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
what?
But the 10.5. But
Oh, yeah.
if the offering is asking for 4.5 pints of blood, it's literally asking, would you die again?
Well, actually, you'd go into shock from losing 4.5, but you would only really die if you lost 5 to 6 pints.
So,
You'd just be extremely fucking sick if you
all right,
lost
let me just ask
4.5.
this. What dice should I be rolling for the damage that she takes?
All of them.
A whole D20.
Your entire health pool.
No, realistically.
You're gonna die, bitch.
Probably like a D6.
Okay. 2,
You're gonna die. You're
7,
Nightmare, nightmare,
10,
nightmare!
Gonna...
Fucking, why are we
13,
so retarded?
18. So she takes about 20 points of damage. I'm gonna need you to you got a 10, which is all you actually needed to do to make the pass.
That's honestly surprising.
Because you are in your particular field, the DC is very much lower.
That
So-
makes sense.
So when you are watching her pretty much like squeeze her palm to like wring out blood to pour into this thing, after about it gets halfway full, you notice her legs begin to growing weaker. She's
Lancey's just gonna grab and keep her steady.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on her if I can.
okay.
No,
That is a
not
touch.
yet.
I'm gonna say that is a touch spell, and now would be the time. That is my hint of her body's going into shock.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on her.
I mean, I can cast Cure Wounds as I grab her.
Okay.
Also, let me make sure I have Cure Wounds, because I don't know that I actually took that one.
And David's just like,
I do for sure have Healing Word, though. I do have Cure Wounds. I'll just cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. So go ahead and roll out your heal.
I'd have to look up Cure Wounds. I don't know it offhand.
I believe it's a D8 or a D6. One of them. D8 plus your spellcasting ability.
That's my intelligence as a cleric, right?
Wisdom, I believe, actually. Spellcasting. Your wisdom modifier is your spellcasting modifier.
Okay. Helps if I don't scroll past my wisdom, right?
Usually.
Yeah,
Why?
that helps.
Just a little bit. What the fuck? That is an 8 with mods.
Okay.
4 on the dice, and I have a +4 in wisdom.
Okay. So first level spell slot done. Kana, go ahead and consume a first level spell slot, and also roll out your heals.
So was that a D20?
No, it's a D8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Guidance, decomposition. Okay, my Alright,
Yeah, you and me too, buddy.
fuck. My cantrips are in no way useful to this situation. I have spare the dying, guidance,
Okay.
in decomposition.
So
I also have sacred
she
friend.
healed for 9 plus 8 is 17, so she only in the long run took 3 points of damage, which would have been from the cut. We'll say. So after it drips, it drips one last drip into this into this blood pool that she's made. After it hits, and you watch as the surface tension begins to touch the very edge of the lip.
Casting compose out of the blood. No.
Explosion! The back of the scarab beetle, where its wings would be, actually flower open.
Oh,
And
It's a bomb!
you hear a lot of movement.
It's a bomb!
She's going to very quickly bandage up her palm and apply pressure onto it.
right, it's a bomb.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I can't do that with that crafting bench.
You're right. You
No,
cannot
you
go over to the wings of the beetle with a crafting bench. You use your legs.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
My shiver legs.
I put a new 40s on the G.
My Lamborghinis.
You're both idiots.
Yes.
Took you this long to realize. Dumbass.
No. Have you seen the version where it's Queso singing it?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the Burger King version too, which makes it even better.
I go and drive up to a Burger King. Can I please get a double whopper with onion rings? That's not everything. Can I please get a whopper with no cheese? Can I get a two with a large drink? I got extra money. Something about extra fries, just don't make them salty. I don't remember that word for word, but I do know what you're referring to.
It's beautiful. It's glorious. Okay, I'm gonna look at what was in the back of the scarab. A bomb.
Oh,
So, as you go to the back, you notice what very much looks like a steep staircase that leads downwards into the underground. Fairly dark, fairly concerning, because as you're stepping closer, you're noticing very quickly a draft going inwards, like oxygen is being exposed for the first time as sand is kicking up and being siphoned inside.
Hey, Gulp, get over here.
Oh my god.
Boots are down the fucking stairwell.
More like yeets.
So this bitch empty. Yay!
Just sends to the Shadow Realm.
It's like that
Very
Kirby
nice.
scream.
Ah! Vamos fuega! Ah!
That meme where Kirby's falling into abyss screaming is actually from a really good episode of the Kirby show.
Yes.
There's a Kirby show?
Yes.
And Cyrus would be going absolutely nuts right about now.
What the fuck? How did I not know this?
You're too straight, white boy.
Maybe I just don't like Nintendo characters.
Nah, man, I think you're too straight, white boy.
Okay. Good for you. I didn't ask your opinion.
No one ever does.
But I'll start to now.
No, you won't. Don't lie.
Yeah, you're right. I can't lie to you. Okay. Anyway. Well,
Who wants to be first?
Let me guess, because I'm the one who opened it, I have to be the first to go in next.
No, not necessarily.
if you're offering.
Mm. How about we send
Alright,
the one with the metal companion in?
I'm going. But if anything happens to me, I'm going.
Not our problem.
So she's like, Probability, come on. We got to get a move on. I guess I'm going in.
What?
I just had the shit scared out of me because I heard something banging on my window. I look over. It is just an absolute downpour.
It's Cyrus on the second floor story of the building.
Who could that be knocking at my door?
Me.
Open up, please. It's soggy.
You have two options. It's either your lover or it's Sean here to assault you.
Sean in uniform.
That's even funnier,
Open up
however.
the fucking door, little baby! Open the fucking window, little baby! Hurry up, hurry up.
So does Gulp have dark vision?
Hey, I don't.
I have dark vision.
Let me check here.
Fool. We all have dark vision.
It doesn't look like it.
Damn.
Does it? Okay. So after you hit flat ground and go down the entire staircase, you wish you had a nightlight. Because, dear heavens,
Big bag.
I can't make that joke, I'm sorry. But anyway.
Big bag, big.
Sean, we're generating so much biofuel. I've also got steel generation up and going. It's only partially automated. I need to figure out how to automate carbon.
I'll steal it, and nobody will ever know.
Pyro,
Hello.
what are we doing?
Cushion, what are you doing?
Your mother.
I guess I'm walking forward.
Uh,
You
Roll me a
just can't
D4.
fire at colors.
The rest of us are waiting up at the top for any sign from Gulp. Gulp. I'm gonna
Aziel,
get...
are you dead?
I got a 3.
Can
You
I
walk
have
into a
your-
wall.
It's like,
What did you say, Pyro?
You walk into a wall.
No, before that.
Aziel, are you dead?
I don't know that.
so
Smurfs!
she's like,
When he
It's like
throws the
Bob-
fucking cat into the portal.
it's like, okay, Bob
I've not
Billy.
seen those movies.
Ah, fuck. Holy
She's like,
shit.
okay. She's like, let me see if I have an illumination function on you, Bob Billy.
And you know what's funny? I'm the youngest member of the group. Which means when those came out, I would have been the closest to that age. I would have been closest to target audience age.
So I'm going to, let's see here. A Dungeoneer's pack would have a torch, right?
Yeah, I got a few.
So I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out a torch and light it.
Okay. It's a very dim torch due to the very lack of oxygen down here, as it's being exposed to oxygen for the first time. In fact, you can
In a
even
long
see your flame feathering, like a very long gust is blowing on it, towards behind you. So essentially, in your face. Say goodbye to your eyebrows, or now lack thereof.
I was about to say, your fucking eyebrows are going, buddy.
I don't think Gulp had eyebrows to begin with.
They did, emphasis on past tense.
So you're saying?
So yeah, you light a torch. Due to the gust of oxygen being flown into this whole area, the flame is blowing into your face, essentially signaling to go behind you or turn around.
Have any of us considered if Gulp could even see down there?
I'm fairly confident, judging by the last time we went into a cave. No, they can't.
So
I wasn't there for that.
I come out of there and I'm like, it's safe to
Half
go
dead.
in. It's safe to go in there, but it's real dark and there's a breeze. I'm gonna order food, so I'll be right back. I'll do
Okay.
it before the store closes.
Do we want to take a $5?
Yeah.
Alright, let me pause recording then. I'm gonna go get food myself.
Hey, I haven't heard fiber in a while.
Alright, and we're back. Everyone's done shitting and drinking.
Wait, you guys were shitting?
Yeah, in my pants.
Wasn't needing them.
Gross.
No, I meant the shit. I wasn't needing the shit.
By the way, I have to address something now because I'll never get to address it again if I don't address it now. There's a Ray Charles song that I swear I heard something different than what he said.
Huh?
Huh?
First off, who is Ray Charles?
Your mother.
Really
What?
important singer. He was a great musician back in the day. Did a
How
lot of
important
old-
is important? Beethoven was important.
He's relevant. You'll hear his work around Christmas time. I'll tell you that.
Huh?
You'll hear his songs around Christmas time.
He's ass.
tells me nothing because I don't listen to Christmas music.
Except for
Yeah.
Mary's.
The world forces us to listen to Mariah Carey's. If I could, I would pretend Mariah Carey's music doesn't exist.
So I want you to listen to this.
Fuck you.
I want you to listen to this lyric.
No. We are going to continue the game. So listen later.
All
You
right.
lost the game.
I killed 72 men. Does that count as winning the game?
No.
That's not a joke. I've committed countless crimes.
So,
Get back in the line, buddy.
Gulp came back up to the surface.
Golf
Yep.
should have stayed there. That was mean.
And she said, like, it's okay to go down there, but there's a bit of a draft and you can't see a thing.
You might not be able to.
Well, it was darker than a black cat eating licorice in a coal mine.
What?
The cat.
You're just full. Like me, but on all fours and much smaller.
And less
But
hairy.
But I'd imagine to be for black cats.
This is quite possibly the most racist thing I have ever met. And besides this drow, I know a few others.
I was just describing the situation. You ain't never been to the country before, especially with like all our countryisms.
What's a country?
Now you're just being obtuse. Where am I getting messages from? Alright, so I guess we're going in.
Yep.
Alright. Who wants to lead the way?
I mean, I could. I'm probably fine with that.
Alright.
So we descend.
Yep.
Yes.
Alright.
Set him to the side. Yeets. Okay. And there we go.
What kind of light sources am I carrying?
Good question.
What's it like down here?
Cold. Dark.
Dark.
Oh, I dark vision.
You have
I'm
superior
sorry.
dark
I'm
vision,
sorry.
don't you?
I was waiting for that. Yes, I do.
I have
I was
10
waiting for you to
candles in my
describe it.
police's
I could
backpack.
I could have described my neighbor in the same sense.
You what?
I
What?
could have described my neighbor in the same sense. I have dark vision. I on the fucking trip on the it's dark.
Okay.
Um.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of candles and torches.
Okay.
Is it dark enough that those of us with dark vision are seeing as expected, or is it darker than that?
Uh, you are treated as a downgrade version of what you have for dark vision. So superior would just be instead of the 180 up to 60. You have 60. You have 30.
Ah, that's lame.
It's that dark. It's actually not the first time the party has experienced this.
It's the first time my character in particular has for this one.
The first thought in his mind, God damn, it's dark.
What the fuck are we doing down here? Why we gotta be in a place so dark?
The things my friend sent me.
You have friends other than us?
Surprisingly.
You have friends?
I'm not your mother.
I know.
Didn't you say that while you and I were talking to Sean?
She also said it
Yeah.
as I was at her door.
Multiple times. She says it all the time. Like, you don't have friends. Like, okay.
And then Sean opens the door. Oh, okay. Who is he then?
You're not real. You're just in Sean's head.
That's exactly what she says.
Oh my god.
He's not real.
So that's
I was
where you
like,
get your humor from.
Pyro, did you know you're not real apparently?
Well, the IRS
Yes.
certainly does not agree.
IRS, schmyrs.
I did. I thought you said IRS my ass.
IRS my ass.
That's equivalent to what I said, roughly.
IRS my ass.
Joke's on you, buddy. I owe $6,000 in back taxes.
Joke's on you. I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying.
Paying my taxes.
Great show. So
It is.
what are we doing? So, funnily enough, as you are looking around with what little bit of dark vision you have, you do see a gulp sized face imprint into one of the walls.
I'm going to assume that wasn't there before.
I simply laugh.
Don't worry, I've done it too. That was because spiders were in my eyes, but that's besides the point. Sorry if that was awkward.
So what are we doing?
A little bit.
Hold on, I gotta answer. Pizza's here.
Start jorking it to warframes. That's what I do.
Oh no.
Okay, etiquette.
Fucking. That will never not be funny.
Oh,
And guess what? Now the internet knows.
The internet already knew people did that. However, it's funnier to us because we have a specific context for it.
So I say again, what are we doing?
Kicking your ass. Sean, I need to start building more biofuel reactors. I've hit a point where I can't operate everything at once.
Sucks.
I guess we're just gonna call it here then.
I'm back.
I guess I'm
What?
unfocused.
What are we doing?
I've been up for a while.
Calling it here.
Oh, really?
I mean, technically speaking, we're an hour and a half overdue. I'm sick with a migraine.
I have work at 6.
Well, so
You guys made progress. That matters.
God damn it, Pyro. Why is that thing you sent me so true yet funny?
Because it's true. And it's funny.
So I still feel kind of bad about earlier. Is everything cool with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
All right, I'm cutting the recording.